In this episode of the How to Do Your 20s podcast, we're going to be talking about weight loss, how to achieve your fitness goals, health-related things, and today I have Bruno on the podcast. So first off, Bruno, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Hey Travis, what's up? How are you? Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so
Yeah,
excited to share some truth bombs here with your audience.
I'm excited to have you here. So the first question, how did you get started in this the health weight loss industry?
Sure. My whole life, pretty much, Travis, I've been into health. I've always played sports. I am a tennis player and a soccer player. Pretty much my whole life. I started playing soccer. I don't even remember when was that, but in tennis when I was 14. So I was back and forth soccer and tennis. And so health was really part of my life. It was just natural for me. But when I moved to New York City, I started doing modeling, right? So that's how I got to New York. And I start to see that a lot of people out there, they're not really healthy. And I didn't like the modeling industry, first of all. And that's when I was like, what am I gonna do with my life? And then I went back, well, I like health. So I started going back to school and studying and just learning everything. And that's pretty much how this whole thing started. There is much more that I can talk about, like really looking back into hindsight, but this is pretty much like the short version.
Cool. And yeah, and later in this episode, I want to get into your entire entrepreneurial journey. But at the beginning here, let's talk a little bit about weight loss. And so, why do so many people fail at weight loss? It's right now, we're recording this, it's early January, New Year's, a lot of New Year's resolutions, and a lot of New Year's resolutions that are about to be broken. Why is that? And how can people fix that?
Yes, man. Weight loss, like we are talking a little bit here offline, it's so fascinating for me, the whole process, the how this really works. And really, I start to think about this because I found that more than 90% of people, they fail at achieving sustainable weight loss. People can get short-term results. They can get 2 months, 3 months, maybe 6 months. But more than 90% of people, they end up gaining all back. So I start to question myself, really, why is this happening? And I start just to studying a lot and doing a lot of research and implementing things on my own life and my friends and clients and just start seeing the results. And the first, there is so many reasons here. The first thing that I like to explain to people why maybe they are failing on this long-term approach is because they are thinking in terms of eat less and exercise more. So if you ask on the street, if you go on the street and just ask people, how do you lose weight? I would say more than 80% of people, they just say, you have to eat less, you have to decrease the amount of calories that you have, and you have to move more, you have to exercise more, right? It makes sense. However, it doesn't work on the long term, like years of your life, right? So like I said before, it can work on the short term, but it doesn't work on the long term. And there is many, many reasons why this is happening, but I like to bring it on here too. Number one is when you're doing this approach of eating less and exercising more, you become hungrier. So your hormones are changing. So there is ghrelin and leptin. Those are two hormones related to your satiety and your hunger level. They change. So you're going to become more hungry, and you're also not going to be very satisfied, right? So you're going to be thinking about food a lot if you're doing this approach. And also, your metabolism slows down. There is a gland called thyroid. It controls your whole metabolism. And if you keep doing that for, let's say, 2 months, 3 months, your thyroid is going to suffer. You cannot outsmart your body. Your body is very smart. So if you're doing this approach of, you feeling hungry pretty much, and you're trying to push, I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to start to running and to more. Thyroid is going to slow you down as this approach goes. So you're going to be like saving energy. It's going to be like, I have to save energy because this crazy person here is trying to kill me pretty much. So that's what pretty much in summary here, what happens. Your hormones like the ghrelin and leptin, they change, and also your thyroid. And after a certain time, you just give up because who would do that? Like to eat less and exercise more for the whole life as an approach to lose weight. Nobody can sustain that. Really, this is the secret here. You have to do something that is sustainable.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So then, what is the answer? You said obviously that's not the answer. How do people create sustainable long-term health or weight loss?
Sorry, I hit the computer here. Yes, so here's the thing, like eating less and exercise more doesn't work like we see here. And if you see, there is a perfect example. The Do you know The Biggest Loser, the show,
Yeah,
the TV show?
yeah, yeah.
That's the perfect example of what is happening there. They are exercising more
Hmm.
and they are eating less, right, to lose more weight. And it works for the short periods of time. They have an amazing results there. But did you know that after 5 years, they found that the winners, okay, just talking about the people who won the contest here, they are pretty strong mentally. 93%, Travis, they gain all the weight back
Wow,
and some more,
wow.
which is which goes perfect here with what I found before. More than 90% of people, they fail on this long-term approach. 5 years here. Okay, so that's the first thing to understand is really it doesn't work. Don't even start it because you're gonna be hurting your body more than doing good. Because every time you do this, it's gonna become harder and harder to lose weight. And so just wanna make people aware of understanding this, how your body works. And then the big question comes, how do you do that then, Bruno, if it's not about eating less and exercise more? Here's the deal. You have to see this with a holistic approach. You have to look at your whole life. You cannot just look at one part. You cannot just look for the magic pill here, or for the magic supplementation pill, or for a formula, because it doesn't work. So holistic approach meaning you have to look into your nutrition. Of course, you have to look what you're eating, what you're drinking. Then we have to look into your physical activity levels. Are you moving your body? Just this simple question, right? But also, people stop there. They just focus on the diet and on the exercise, and that's all pretty much what most people focus on. But there is more, like I'm saying here, there is a stress management. Are you managing your stress? If you're not, it's gonna be very, very hard because cortisol, which is a hormone, is gonna be high all the time, and it's nearly impossible to lose weight if your cortisol is high. That's number three here, stress management. And then number four, which is I would say in the modern world I would say is the number one here, is sleep. The quality of sleep. Are you sleeping well most days of your week? Again, it goes all back to hormones. Sleep control your hormones. If you're not sleeping well, it's gonna be very difficult to lose weight. And the number five here, I believe really this is the most important thing, Travis, is your mindset, man. Like everything starts in your mindset. If you have your mindset right, strong mindset, you can achieve whatever you want to have in your life. If it's weight loss, you can do that. If it's making more money, you can do that. If it's having a better social life, more happiness, whatever it is, everything's gonna start on your mindset. And losing weight is the same way. It's just we tend to focus on the information, on the tools, but we forget about this here first. And that's why when I'm working with people, we always start first on your mindset, addressing their mindset first.
So how do people create and cultivate a healthy mindset, whether it comes to weight loss or it comes to a successful business? What are the practical tips for that?
For the mindset part,
Yes.
sure. So there is many things I love so much this part here of your mindset. But two things that I like to talk about and bring to people's attention here on the podcast, and they also can do this right now. I'm all about taking things, making easy to understand and practical so that people can really use. The first exercise, guys, here that I would like you to do is called the why exercise. And this is just about doing a list of I say the 51, okay? That's the number that I put in here, the 51 reasons why. Why do you want to lose weight? Okay? And most people they stay on the superficial level. They just answer one or two because I just want to look better. I want to have a six pack, I want to have a flat stomach. That's what they say. However, you gotta answer this question here 51 times, really. Why do you want to lose weight? Okay, I want to look better. That's fine. That's one, and that's a valid reason. Why do you want to lose weight? Because I like to be healthy. Then you keep asking yourself. I have my own 51 reasons here, Travis. For example, I want to be healthy for my reason, right? because I want to see my kids growing. I want to
Mm.
play tennis and soccer with them as I get older. I want to be a 80 years old guy being able to play tennis and soccer, maybe possibly going to the gym, living a healthy, functional life. I don't like hospitals. Hospitals really freak me out. I just don't like the environment. So being healthy for me, it motivates me to be away from the hospital. I don't like going to the dentist, for example. Health also is related to your hygiene and your dental health. It's a pretty good sign of your health. So I don't like going to the dentist. Those are really my reasons here. Those are my 51. I didn't say the 51 here, but those five here. And I started going deep and deeper and deeper. And as you do this, you're gonna be write it down, and you're gonna put this list where you can constantly see. Because on the beginning, you're gonna forget it. It's about changing of habits, and on the beginning, really, it's hard because your subconscious level is not programmed to see this way. So it's gonna take a little time and a little repetition, and that's why you gotta be patient with yourself. That's why most people cannot really change everything in one day. I like a smaller approach, just small wins day by day. So that's the first exercise that people can do here. Just the why exercise. I love this one a lot. I do with every single client, and I do with myself too. And you, again, you don't have to do this just for your health. You can do this for any area of your life. If you want to make more money, that's a big goal for me here, to make a lot more money than I'm making today. I ask myself, why do I want to make more money? So I start to question myself. Well, I want to I want to have a comfortable life. I want to be able to spend the time doing things that I like. Why? And then I keep going deeper and deeper and deeper because I want to help more people. Because money gives me freedom to do the things that I like, and doing the things that I like is gonna be able to help more people. And the more people I help, the better the planet's going to be. You see this? Like, do you see
Mm.
what I mean here? It doesn't have to be just on your health; it can be for everything. If you don't have your why, it's going to be nearly impossible here. So your why has to make you cry, has to move you physically, spiritually, mentally. Really, it has to be really big, and that's the first step here.
Okay, and I think you said there was I think you said there was a second way to
Yeah.
practically help your mindset. Okay, well, what's number two?
All right. So number two here is what I call the value exercise,
Okay.
and the first thing is about your why. Second step is getting aligned with your values, and you are a byproduct of your value. That's it. The results that you get in your life right now, it's because of the things that you value. And what I want to, again, for people here to do, you can do this today. Just go on the street, or ask your friends. I think it's better than going on the streets, your family members, your close friends, and ask them and tell them, don't overthink. Just give me a list here of five things, like the five things. What are the things that you value in your life? And then they're gonna say, I value my family, I value my health, I value money, whatever it is, the list, right? And then you go home and you start to analyze. You know these people pretty well. You start to analyze what are the results that they have in their lives, like concrete results. And it's very likely that the list shows you exactly what the values are. So people who put their first thing as their family, they probably have a pretty good relationship with their family. If they value money, it's very likely like they are building this empire of the money. They are really valuing that. If they are valuing their health, if you ask myself, my number one thing is always health. If I don't have my health, I don't have anything. Health is wealth for me. So you start to see this pattern. And then the next step is just to go and do your own list without overthinking, being very honest with yourself. Just write it down, the five things that you value in your life right now. And then you start to see, oh my God, really, I value more this. I have more of those things in my life. And then you can play with this list, Travis. You can tweak. And again, make sure you have this list in front of you so that you can see, that you can remind yourself, because life is going to get in your way. Life gets crazy. There is so much stuff. There is so much things pulling our attention from nowadays, and you're gonna forget it. So it's important to have in front of you. And you can tweak this message here, the value list, or you can remember, you can be reminded that having your health, if you don't want to put your health as the highest priority, is going to spread all over the other areas of your life. So it's just the way it is. If you're healthier, you're gonna be making more money because you're gonna be having more energy. You're gonna be looking better. And if you're healthier, you're gonna be having more time to spend time with your family because you're not gonna be feeling so tired. You're not going to be going to the hospital. You just have more time naturally once you're healthier. And it's that simple. So that's really the second exercise here is the value exercise. Super important. If you do those two things here today, you're going to be seeing amazing results in your life. I promise that.
So I want to go back actually to the first exercise. So I assume you've done this for your health, but you've also done it for making money. Is that correct?
Yes.
And anything else
Yes, I
too
do
that
this.
you've done it for?
For myself, not really. This why exercise I did for my health and I did for the money. I have another exercise that I've been implementing in my life is the 7 whys actually. It's like
Okay.
it goes deeper inside the same. So okay, I want to make more money. Why? Because I want to have more freedom. So we ask yourself, why do you want to have more freedom?
Right.
Because I want to do this. And then you start to really go deep
Right.
into just that one question. And this is really powerful too.
Very cool. So another thing that you were talking about before we were talking about beforehand is kind of how you create a personalized approach. So what does weight loss look like for different people, and how do you create that personalized approach?
Yes, so it's very important to understand, guys, that you are very unique. We talk about this on the beginning here. To don't try to find the perfect formula or the perfect book or just the one thing to do it, because you are a unique human being into this space and time, and you have a very different health status from Travis or from myself right now. Also, you have a different genetic, a physiology, and also you have different goals. So understand that you're very unique. So we have to take this approach very personal. That's the number one thing here, to take an individualized program. Okay, you cannot just go, and that's why, Travis, there is more than like 20,000 books out there on diets, right? Because there is not just one diet that's gonna work for everybody. There is foundation. There is things that is going to be working pretty much across the board, but at the end of the day, you have to find something that works for you. So we have to treat the individual. And how we do that? Well, you gotta ask yourself questions. We have forms. You gotta see the symptoms that you have in your life right now, what your goals and what are the results that you're having right now. And according to that, we start to taking this individualized approach. We see, oh, for me, for example, Bruno, right now, I am on a health stage that I would consider myself on 1 to 10 scale to be a 9. I want to always strive for more, but I can have a cheat day here and there. My body is pretty strong. It's not going to be maybe taking me down.
Mm.
A lot of people out there, they are very fragile because whatever reason, because they have been doing what they are doing right now for quite a long time, that the body is just weak, or because of the genetics from their parents, the grandparents did a lot of horrible things for their health, and you just got this from your parents. It's important to understand that as well. Maybe you are not as lucky as your neighbor or your friends, but once you know that, you can make the decisions according to your goals and to your individual, to what you have right now. So that's the first thing here, to take this individualized approach. And then we have to also to look to your whole background. What have you done before that has worked? What have you done before that didn't work? So we have to start to seeing like these patterns of behavior, and then we go back to what we talked here before about this holistic approach. Then we go into the nutrition. What are you doing for nutrition right now? And then we see, okay, let's tweak this and that. Let's maybe do like a 1 month. I love doing this of 100% approach. I call it. I have a video on my course that it's the 100% approach versus the 80-20. So it's pretty much like this. If you are somebody who is really facing something that you are not happy with, you want to lose weight, you have been trying for a long time, but you just can't, I would highly recommend you to do this 100% approach here of your nutrition. So it's an elimination diet where you're going to be very specific for a certain period of time, for 30 days, let's say. Then let's see what works. Then we start to bring in foods back to see if you can have that in your life or not. Your body's going to dictate that. Not me, not Bruno, not anybody else, but yourself. You are going to become the experts in your body. And that's really the secret and the power, because There is a ambulance here outside.
Yes.
Because then you have the power in your own hands, and this is really my mission, is to give people's power on their own hands, to support them, of course, but at the end of the day, they are the masters of their own body. Really, nobody can say, because you know yourself better than anybody, and you know how you're feeling. Like, I cannot get into your body and understand the way you're feeling right now, just because we don't have this technology yet. It doesn't work, right? So we start to see this. Okay, the nutrition. Now that you know what you have been doing, let's try this. Then we get into the exercise. What have you been doing? I don't even like to call exercise. I like to call physical activity. Simply, let's see what are you doing in terms of your physical activity levels, and then we start to doing a program based on your individual. Like, okay, I am a mom, I am an entrepreneur, I am very busy. What can I do for the exercise part, for the physical activity part? Well, maybe I can start just walking every day. Okay, perfect. Let's do that. Maybe you are a guy and you are in your 20s, you have a lot of time in your hands, and then okay, you can go 5 times to the week, 5 times a week, So we start to do this individualized program here for the person based on their lifestyle, what they want to accomplish, and what amount of time they have in their hands. And the same way with the stress part, they sleep. Those are mandatory things as well, I believe, into the 21st century here, because it's not the same anymore. If you have access to this, if you're listening to me right now, you have access to the internet. It's a completely different world out there. We have technology all the time. There is things pulling our attention all the time. There is so much things going on. Our stress, it's just different. So we have to pay attention to that as well, and the sleep as well. And then, of course, the mindset here. We also work specifically for what you need for this moment.
That's awesome. Okay, and another kind of follow-up question here is why, one of the questions we talked about a little bit beforehand is, why is a calorie not a calorie? And I agree with this, but I'm curious to hear your approach to this.
Yes, a calorie. This is something that I read so much about this, and there is so many reasons. First of all, if you ask your grandmother, she doesn't even know what a calorie means. Okay, and that's the first thing to understand, is you don't need to know what a calorie is, because this is not required to be healthy. Your grandmother, I'm sure she had probably a very healthy life throughout her life, and she didn't know what a calorie is. And nowadays we have all this package with only 100 calories or whatever it is, and then people start, oh, but this is too much calorie, or this is, we should not be having this because it's this amount of calorie. You start to analyzing this based on the calorie. So there is many reasons. Like I said before, I like showing people here, to make things simple, 3 reasons here. Number 1, fiber. Okay, a calorie is not a calorie because of the difference into the fiber content. Let's take, for example, 100 grams of kale compared to 100 grams of sugar. This, if you look into the nutritional factors, you'd see that kale has a lot of fiber. On the other hand, sugar has zero fiber, has nothing in there, right? So just by that we see, and fiber is a very important content. It's an important factor here for your health. There is a lot of things that's happening in your gut flora, in your intestinal flora. It's related to your fiber intake. There is different types of fiber, and the health of your gut flora is going to be the health of yourself. So if your gut's not really working, you're going to be feeling like crap, and maybe you not even can lose weight because of the types of bacteria that's in there. But I don't even want to get into much about the health, the gut flora health here, but I just want to focus on the fiber. So we see that fiber is really different compared to different foods, and it's the same amount of calories. Okay, that's number 1 here. Number 2, satiety levels. Like we talked about this on the beginning, remember, when he said that the key here to the kingdom is to have control of your hunger levels. And if you're eating less and exercising more as an approach to lose weight, you're going to be feeling hungry, so you're not going to be satisfied. And again, let's take like 100 grams of a beef, like a seafood, like a piece of fish, compared to a can, like a soda can. You drink that soda, and you eat the fish, how do you feel after that? The satisfaction factor here. You don't feel satisfied once you're drinking the same 100 calories here compared to the 100 calories from fish. That's just because there is signals in your body that recognize fish as a real food and soda as something that we cannot even put into words here. It's something fake created by human beings, right? So that's number two here, your satiety levels. It's completely different from food to food. Very important to understand. And even macronutrients ratio here, protein, carbohydrates, and fats, they have different levels of satiety as well. Not just the food, but also the macronutrients. But I don't want to get it too much scientific here. So the third reason here that comes to my mind is the empty calories. Just plain, straightforward here, 100 calories coming from sugar compared to 100 calories coming from a banana, for example. Banana has fiber, it has vitamins, it has minerals, it has antioxidants, and has things that we don't even know yet, that we haven't even put a name for that, because this is real food, and nutrition is a very new science. We still are finding a lot of things related to nutrition. So on the other hand, sugar has zero, empty calories, has nothing, has just sugar, has carbohydrates there, okay? So, but it has no minerals, has no vitamins, has no antioxidants. Actually, it's very inflammatory. So, yeah, those are the three reasons here that I like to exemplify here for make things easy. And now we understand that a calorie is not a calorie anymore, so you don't even pay attention to that anymore on the labels. What you do, you eat real food. You eat foods that they have no labels pretty much for the most part. Or if there is a label, you have to be savvy enough to go and know how to read that. I'm actually running a challenge. I just started a challenge today. It's a 5-day challenge that I do every single month. And this one is called Bye Bye Sugar. So it's all about getting rid of sugar, kicking sugar to the curb. And the lesson for today is really to recognize what are the hidden sugars that we have there. So I was in the supermarket. I did a video showing people how to read the labels. So, okay, if you buy like a potato or a kale, there is no label. That's probably perfect. That's probably you're going to the right direction. But there is some foods out there that they have a label and we can still have. So you have to make sure that you know how to read the labels. The first thing that you do, you go to the ingredient list. And that's the most important thing, to know if you recognize those ingredients. If something really fake, or maybe if there is something with more than 5 ingredients, it's very likely that this food is not going to be promoting your health.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I mean, I try to, I don't eat any sugar for the most part. I mean, every once in a while, sure, if I'm with some friends, it's like have a little
Yeah.
thing, but I'm very vigilant on the making sure there's not added sugar into that protein bar or whatever kind of thing.
Yeah, and what I found too, like working with so many people as well, Travis, and just talking in general, this makes me really sad, because people, they think they know everything. Like we tend to think we have this bias, the confirmation bias, that we tend to just to think that what we believe is the right thing, because whatever it is, the reason, right? So I was talking to this girl 3 days ago, and I was inviting her to my challenge and saying, I have this 5-day challenge that I think is going to be awesome for you, especially because she told me she has type 2 diabetes, which is, funny enough, related to sugar consumption. And she told me, no, Bruno, I don't need that, because I don't have sugar in my diet. And I said, oh, okay, cool. And then she answers me back, I switch sugar for Splenda. And then that's when I was, oh my God, really, you must join this challenge now, because that's what you're going to be teaching you there. There is things that we don't even know it's sugar, or there is things that is causing more harm than the white sugar, which is the case of Splenda, in my opinion. And there is, like you say here, there is a lot of hidden sugars. When I went to the supermarket today, there was things like it looks fine, it looks healthy, but if you read the ingredients, there is hidden things there. They just changed the name of the substance. It's a chemical, but it's still having the same effects in your body. So we have to become very savvy, and that's why you need education. We don't have education around nutrition anymore, and that's why I'm here on this planet, for to educate people, to give them the tools, the right tools, and then they can make their own decisions. But I like to empower people, because like this girl, she doesn't know. It's just a lack of information sometimes. And yeah, we have to, I have to spread this message here with as many people as we can.
That's awesome. All right, I want to shift gears here a little bit and talk a little bit more about the entrepreneurial journey. And I guess my first question for you is, right now, is this what you do full time? Do you train people and do the health thing for full time, or do you have another job as well?
Yeah, no, right now I am completely focused here on helping people online. I just coach people online. I did personal training for a little bit back in the days, like in person, like a regular one. But I found that to really spread my message here with as many people as I can, I have to use different platforms. I cannot just stay one on one with a person at the gym. It's good, but I can get so much more results using the internet, the power of the internet, which is amazing nowadays. I connect with people all over the world. I have people in Australia, in New Zealand, in Europe, in Brazil. Of course, I'm from Brazil, and here in the US, the Canada is a big market as well. So and it's so fun and it's so enjoyable to this way because we can just take something and make available for a lot of people, and everybody pretty much is connected to the internet nowadays, so it makes much easier and more, how can I say, more profitable in terms of for people, not
Mm,
just for myself. Of course, it's much more profitable for the person, for the entrepreneur as well, because the more people you help, the more you're gonna get back. It's just the loss. I don't know if you know Bob Proctor, but I've been studying Bob Proctor a lot these last years of my life. And this guy, he's a genius, and he was talking about this. Just is the law of the universe. You can't go against the law of the universe. The more people that you help, the more you're gonna get back in return. So it's a law. We can't break the laws of nature, right? So yeah, that's how I'm doing right now, and just doing a lot of challenge. I have this challenge every single month that it's for completely for free, so that I can really help as many people as I can. We have on this one we have over 200 people registered. We start today, goes until Friday. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now.
so let's get back to like the beginning. How did you first get your first client or your first, yeah, let's say your first client? How did that happen?
Okay, so oh, you mean like online on
Let's
the
start, let's say online. Yeah.
yeah online. So I start changing gears not too long ago, to be honest with you. I started doing something in Portuguese. I want to reach the Brazilian market like 2 years ago. But before that, I actually started doing in English, and was also called the Brazilian Health Nut, probably like 3 years ago. But I was just not on the right spot mentally. I was not ready yet. I didn't believe in myself. I thought that because I am not a native speaker and there is too many people already doing in English, that I was not going to be successful. I was having this mentality, not the abundance mentality. I was having this lack mentality, right? That a lot of us have. And I did that for probably like not even a month, and I just gave up. And then I was like, oh no, I think I have to do in Portuguese. I have to attack the Brazilian market. And then I started doing in Portuguese, but I was living here in New York, and it's impossible to do that if you really don't know what you're doing, especially in the beginning, making money and living in New York, and making money in Rio, which is the currency in Brazil. It was impossible. I was just doing for to see and trying to do something here, and I just found out that it really doesn't work. And then I went back to the Brazilian Health Nuts. I moved to San Diego last year. I met a lot of people there who opened the door for me and really inspired me in just to see that I really can do this, whatever it is, if it's in English. And then I started Brazilian Health Nuts in English again, and I had my podcast, and that's yeah, it came from the podcast. Actually, came from the Periscope. Do you know Periscope?
Yeah, yeah. I know
It's a
Periscope.
social media. Yeah, it's like live streaming, kind of like nowadays Facebook has live streaming. Periscope has live streaming. It's a little better, the software, I would say. And the person find me there, and from there we had a coaching call with the person, and we closed the deal. Yeah, we had the first clients for the Brazilian Health.
Wow, okay. So it was Periscope was the way that you found your
Yeah,
first client. Do you still
yeah.
actively use Periscope?
Yeah, it was Periscope. No, I stopped doing Periscope pretty much 3 months ago. I hired a coach for my business in August, and we went over what was working, what was not working. And we found is that for my business right now, Facebook is really where I can focus my 80-20 rule here.
Right.
Most 80% of my time on Facebook. And that's instead of doing Periscope, I actually do Facebook Live nowadays. So every single day, right before here, I don't know if you saw, right before here, talking to you, I was doing a Facebook Live. I went live to talk about this cheat day that I had in Saturday, talking about the what happens to me, and I'm just reevaluating a lot of things in my life all the time. And one of the things is about this cheat day. I can do it, but at the same time, the next day for me is not the same. I like to perform at high level every single minute of my life. So I was not feeling well yesterday, and today I'm still a little off here. And what happened? And well, I had a lot of crappy food Saturday. So yes, I forgot what you asking. It was Periscope, right? But nowadays, yes, mostly Facebook Lives, and Instagram has been big for me too. I'm really focusing a lot of my energy on Instagram. It has been growing organically pretty well, and the way I do, I just very consistent. I have a schedule pretty much once a day, and I like to bring my own personality to the brand. No, that's something that I highly recommend for people here to be yourself, like 100%. And once you think you are yourself, then you double that down. Like really be more yourself. The more you want to attract and repel as much as you can. So, which what I mean by that is you can't just try to please everybody. And that's what most people do. They just be there out there, and they do things. Oh, I think people are gonna like this. No, you have to do first yourself. Number one, be yourself. You're not people are gonna see through if you do something that you're just trying to attract or repel people based on this what Bruno told you. No, if you are a person who really hates to eat animal because you believe that being a vegan is the most important thing, you have to be this person as much as you can, and you're gonna be attracting a lot of people who are just like you, who believe that eating vegan is gonna be awesome for you, and you're gonna be repelling everybody else who don't agree with that. So that's awesome. You're gonna have the haters, let's put it this way, but it's not gonna be too much because not many people want to spend much time just being haters. There is a 10% of people who will be there, but that's awesome for you actually. And then everybody else who is going to be attracting is people who love you, who really resonate with you with this veganism thing. And I'm not even vegan. I don't think, just giving an example here. But yeah, that's something that I believe is really important. Instagram has been this media for me. There is Instagram. You can do videos nowadays. I love doing videos. There is live nowadays. There is Snap, Instagram, whatever is that called. I don't like Snapchat. I gave it up on that. So I just do Instagram and Facebook. Those are the two things that I'm really focusing on right now.
And how have you gotten new Facebook members? How do you get more people joining your challenges, all that kind of thing?
Yes. Okay. So let me share here, guys. I'm really open. I love helping people no matter what. I paid $4,000 for this tip, and I'm gonna share here with you. Um, First of all, well, there is a lot of people who are coming just from Instagram organically, naturally. So I have the Instagram there, and then what I'm doing, I'm sending the link back to this challenge that I do live, which is it's better to do something live, I believe, because it's just people, there is too much automation nowadays, and people want to have a little bit more of like interaction with you, really, like as a real person. So I'm doing this every single month alive. Right now, it's the one from January 9th to the 13th. Next one is going to be in February. So I always have this live thing, and then people click there and they can register for the challenge. So there is a lot of people actually are coming from this organic without paying anything. And then on Facebook as well, I start doing Facebook ads. I believe that's going to be very powerful for my brand in this future. Right now, I'm still learning. I don't want to become the Facebook ads expert here, so I'm actually looking to have a partnership with somebody who can help me. I had a guy. I'm gonna have another meeting tomorrow. We're gonna be talking more about the results that I did for this campaign on my own, and that's paid traffic. But like I promised here before, when I paid $4,000 for my coach, he taught me that what you can do is pretty simple. It's not easy. It is easy. Let me put it this way, but it takes energy. And if you're a lazy person, you're not going to be doing this. But if you're really hard worker, you can do this. What you do is you go into Facebook groups. You find Facebook groups that possibly have your ideal clients. So let's say for me, I have clients, my ideal clients are entrepreneurs. I love working with people who are entrepreneurs, who are busy people, who don't have much time into the days, and but they are also striving to become better into the health. It got on the side, so the health is really suffering because of their work or their family, whatever is the situation. So I'm going into these groups of entrepreneurship. I'm joining. I'm adding value. I'm posting there. Nothing to do with what I do. Nothing to do with weight loss. I'm just being myself there, sharing stories and commenting on people and putting things out there. And then I see who likes, who shares, who comments on that. Then I comment back and I add that person to my Facebook profile. So once I have that person on my Facebook profile, it's my lead, it's my friend. Then
Okay.
from that point, I go and again, like I said before, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes a lot of hard work. I did that for a whole month and I got burnout, but I still do. So I have a better system now. But you go and you start to bring this back to your personal profile, and you have relationship there. You are talking to the person as a regular human being. You're not trying to sell anything. You're just adding value to them. You're having a regular conversation. You're saying hi. You like, I saw your profile. You do this cool, and then you bring back the person to a conversation more towards what you want to achieve. For my case, is calls with people on the phone. And then if they are struggling with their health, I see that you're struggling with your health. I do this, I do X, Y, Z, and I think we should talk. And then a lot of people, you say no, but some people will say yes. And then from that point, it's up to you to sell the person, to add value on the call, to build trust. And then, whatever you are offering, I don't know what you are offering as a person, as a professional here. For me, I'm a coach, so I offering my coach, right? So this simple strategy here, you can just do that the whole day. You're gonna be like so many new leads, and then you start to developing that. And that's why it's important to be posting on your Facebook. Then again, being yourself, really trying to repel and attract as much as you can. I do Facebook lives every single day. That's why I do those things, of course, to add value. I have fun there as well. Don't try to do something that you don't like. I always, have to do something that you enjoy, because otherwise you're going to be stopping to do that. So I'm doing videos. I post my life. I share quotes that I love, and then I see who likes, and who likes, I go and I have a conversation with the person, and I try to bring them to the call with me, and that's where I can sell my program to them. Because remember, selling is a service here. If I'm not selling the person, I'm doing a disfavor for her and for the whole humanity. Because again, remember, like I told you in the beginning here, Travis, that girl that she didn't know, she thought she was doing better because she replaced sugar with Splenda. And if I'm not helping her, if I'm saying, oh, fine, no, let's talk on the phone. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to give you value. And then you're going to be on my program, because you're going to get so much value out of this program, 10 times more than you are investing right now. That's why I always try to focus on, okay, this person is paying me $10,000, whatever it is the amount to work with you. How can I give $100,000 value for this program? Really, how can I do that? And the way to do that is, for me, is to change the health for the rest of their lives. Think about this way. This is so much more than 100,000. This is like, there is no value for that. And that's why I don't, when people talking about, oh, how much is an hour, stuff like that. No, I don't give a shit. Can I curse on this? I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
About this hour thing, because what it really is about, it's about value. If I pay Travis here to be my coach, and let's say he is a business coach, and he gives me back $100,000 value for my business, and I have to pay him $10,000. This is cheap. Like, I'm gonna pay you right now. Like, if you really get this $100 here value back, I'm gonna pay you. But then people think into this scarcity mentality of, oh, right now I don't have this $10,000 here to invest in my health. And then what happens is you never invest in your health. Then you get sick. Your life is crappy because you don't have energy. You look bad because you are overweight and you don't know what to do. You are confused. There is so much information out there. And then you think there is something wrong with you, and you think your life is It's just bad because it is the way it is. It is supposed to be this way because you're born this way. No, no, no. You have to think differently. You have to invest in yourself first, and then you're gonna get all this value back. And think about this way. You're gonna take this for the rest of your life, my friends. This what you're gonna be learning when you invest in a coach. You're gonna be learning that for the rest of your life. You can teach your kids. You can teach your husband, and even yourself. You're gonna make this value, this money back, this 10,000 that you invest in a coach, way more. And that's really, I don't know how we start this conversation, but really got inspired in talking about this.
Yeah, that's awesome. I got two more tactical questions for you, and then well, I have one last question for you after that. But the more tactical question, so you add people as friends to Facebook and you do Facebook Live through your own personal account or through a business account? How do you do
Yes,
it?
no. So right now, on the beginning of this process, it's all personal. So think about this way, guys. Your Facebook profile, it's your new page. It's your new business. And that's what my coach, he told me, okay? You have 5,000 people that can be your friends. So that's a lot of people. You can have, let's say, 500 saves for friends and family. That's fine. You don't have to kick everybody else out there. But after that, you have to all the 4,000, and I'm still, I don't even have 4,000 friends there, and I haven't even deleted anybody. So just to see how this takes time, this process. You can add so many people. You can just build your whole business just through this way, and then you add them to your profile. Yes, because your profile is gonna be a new page. Because in your page you don't really have a conversation. It's nobody's looking at your face, but people are hanging out on the profile. So then you add them as a friend, and you build value. You're talking to them. They are seeing your page. I many times since I started this strategy, because I'm doing so much stuff every single day that maybe they're not seeing this feed this time, but the next one they're going to be seeing. So that's why it's important to really post all the time, and things with value, things with asking questions. This really works because people like to engage. And once they engage with you there, then you can go back and have a conversation on your private messenger. But do this just constantly, and doing live videos, posting videos, doing things here and there. And then you start to develop this relationship. And like I said before, all the time, I do live videos, somebody comments, somebody likes that, somebody who I had back in the day, like 3 months ago, who didn't even answer my questions in the beginning when I had a conversation with this person, because a lot of people, they will not have. And I will tell you, it's really, you have to accept a lot of no's. You have to understand that most of these people, they will say no to you. They will say no. They're not going to even have a conversation with you. But some will, and some will get back to you later on once you start to building this relationship, and once they start to see what you're doing, and then, wow, I've been actually watching what you're doing for 3 months now, and finally they comment on my feeds, and then I go back to them, and then, hey, I saw your comments about this and that, and then, hey, I'm doing this challenge on January 9th. Would you like to participate? Boom, there you go. That you get them in the challenge. You're adding value to them. You're giving them a lot of stuff up front without charging anything. You get them actually results. These people who are there right now with me, these 200 people, whoever participates with me, I guarantee they're gonna get results. And once I give them results, the process of sale is gonna be much easier. I'm gonna be reaching out to them after the challenge, scheduling a call, because if they like it, they want to have more. And they cannot get everything they want in 5 days. It's nearly impossible to change your whole health in 5 days. And they need somebody who can take them by the hand and show really specific, like we talked here in the beginning about personalization. They need personalization. When I'm doing the challenge, it's very broad, but at the end of the day, you need personalization. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole strategy here on Facebook.
Now, I know we're running a little out on time. Do you have a few minutes after?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
Okay. All right, cool. Because the other thing I wanted to talk to you was your coach, and how did you find your coach? Who is your coach? All that kind of stuff.
Yes, my coach, his name is Aaron Yanks, and Aaron was recommended by me by a friend of mine who is also a health coach. He asked me how I was doing, and I said I was talking a little bit about business and stuff, and he's like, "Oh man, I just had a conversation with this guy, and I signed up for his program, and it's pretty solid stuff, like simple things like I just told you here that I paid for $4,000, but there is more, of course. He shared with me there, but that's pretty much what I paid for. And yeah, he recommended me, so it was more like a referral, and that's really important too, referrals. And I trust my friend, So I said, yeah, why not? And then I had a call with him for free, like a 30 minutes call, and he sold me there. He really sold me. He's a great sales guy, and that's something that we didn't even talk about here today. But there is two process here to get as a coach. You have to attract people, to have the leads, but then you have to close them on the call, which is another different conversation here. And he's a really good guy with sales. He's a sales guy, and he told us everything about sales during this process of working with him. So yeah, it was referral with my from my friend.
Okay, that's awesome. And the $4,000, was that for a like what was that exactly for? Was that like an online course or for like a certain number of in-person sessions?
Yes, the course was 8 weeks, so 2 months,
Hmm.
and we, this he's pretty intense guy, and we had only two calls actually, like private, like Skype, like we are doing right now.
Yeah.
Only two throughout the 8 weeks. One in the beginning where he shared with me exactly this strategy that I just shared with you about the Facebook group. There is a little more details about that because it's nearly impossible for me to share everything here
Right.
due to the amount of time, but that's pretty much what he shared with me and the sales process. And every single week we had a call, a Zoom call, like a conference call with the other guys, the other coach, because he just works with coaches, with the other coaches from the group. So we had 10 guys, 10 guys and girls, like 10 people there. And
Hmm.
every week we would have like a 1 hour, 1 hour and a half sometimes, call there on the Zoom conference, having that and going over the what we're learning and what's the topic for this week. And of course, we had accountability on the group as well, and that's where we could talk to him and to the other students and the whole feedback. We had a personal like a partner, and we would talk and practice our things that we were learning. And yeah, that's how the program for these 8 weeks was pretty much yeah.
That's awesome. All right, I want to kind of wrap up with one big last question. And this can be about health, this can be about entrepreneurship, it can be however you want it to be. But my question for you is, how can people, like, what do you wish people knew in their 20s? How can they improve their life? Is there anything that comes to mind that you really want to spread a message to a lot of 20-year-olds on how they can, whatever the number one tip on how they can improve their life would be?
Yes, I believe for people in their 20s, I work with people a little older usually, because people in their 20s, their health, for the most part, they still can take it a lot, and they can do whatever. They can eat crappy. They don't have to exercise. They don't have to sleep well, and they still like feel okay. But I would highly recommend you to take care of your health right now. Start doing this. Don't waste one more second, because, again, even though you're in the 20s, you can still be way better right now, right at this moment. If you think you're doing okay with your health, you can still do much, much better, because I just know because of myself, the way I felt when I was starting all of this 6 years ago, when I really start to really going deep into this nutrition, into this things that we just talked about here, the management of stress, the sleep, the physical, all these important components. And I started seeing the results with myself, and I was pretty good, like I thought I was doing pretty well. But let me tell you something: if you think you're doing well right now, you can do so much better that you cannot even imagine. And so I would highly recommend you to pay attention to your health. If you don't know where to start, join a group, hire a coach. You just try to do something, get into a community of people who can support you. Just try to, and this is something that also I have to tell here: Dr. Google, it's amazing, but it's not. But you can start there, you can learn a lot of things there. But at the end of the day, we talk here, you are an individual, you need personalization. There is some things that's not going to work for you, and you're going to be thinking, why, there's something wrong here. No, just because you are different, so you need something else. So yeah, that's really my tip here. You can be so much more right now, and don't wait until your 30s, because you don't even know if you're going to get there. I don't know if I'm going to get there. And you might as well start today, taking care of your health, feeling amazing, because this is all about feeling. The way you feel and perform is going to be so much better, and so much more. You have going to be having vitality, your mental clarity, the way you think, it's way better. Your energy levels, like I usually, when I don't have like cheat days crazy like I had Saturday, I wake up having energy from the morning until the evening, really high levels. There is little ups and downs throughout the day because it's human beings, but for the most part, I'm performing pretty well. Mental clarity. I haven't been sick for over 4 years now, Travis. So isn't this amazing? Like, just imagine it, not having to go to a doctor or not getting sick, like even a cold. I got flu, food poisoning here and there, but there is nothing you can do. But I'm saying like, oh, I got sick. I cannot go to work because I am sick. This doesn't happen to me. And it doesn't have to happen to you as well once you start implementing these strategies that we have here for you. So yeah, take care of your health right now, my friend. It's worth it.
That's awesome. Bruno, where can people find out more about you, find out more about everything you're doing?
Yeah, so like I said here before, my whole mission is really to help as many people as I can, and I figured it out that the best way to do this is to have this challenge, this free challenge every single day, every single month. And so you can go to brazilianhealthnut.com/challenge, and that's going to take you to the registration for the next upcoming challenge. I don't know when you listen to this, but we always going to have one. So yes, I want to get to know you, support you for this 5 days, get to work with me there personally, and we have videos, we have guides, emails, we have the whole support from everybody who is there as well, who are in probably the same situation as you are, and nothing better than getting support from them. So that's where I would start, going to brazilianhealthnut.com/challenge and participate. And if you like it, it's going to be awesome. We're going to be talking on the phone.
That's awesome. Bruno, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. That was a pleasure. I talk a lot, I know.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure you hit the big red subscribe button down below. You can also check me out on Facebook and on Twitter, and I release a new video every Monday, and by hitting that subscribe button, you'll get those new videos every Monday. And this is really a podcast. It's also a website. You can check out the website. It's howtodoyour20s.com. I'll put a link right over here as well. And what it's all about is trying to improve your life. And we specifically focus on things that people in their 20s are interested in. So make sure you like the video if you liked it. Subscribe, like us on Facebook and Twitter, whatever. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again on another video.